Welcome to the Endless Honeymoon Podcast Secret Dump.
That is not intended to be a scatological reference.
Oh, yeah.
It isn't like a dump, like a dump truck.
Oh, yeah. We didn't think of any of the double entendres possible with the secret dump when we named it. We just thought it was like like an info dump.
Exactly.
But here we are. Speaking of info, we got in a fight recently about downloading info.
We got in a fight last night because I wanted to spend $20 and $20 is obviously a lot of money to buy a movie.
It's this new thing
on your TV.
We
wanted to watch Barb and Star.
Barb and Star?
Go to Del Mar? Is that what it's
Vista
called?
Del Mar, something like that. It's this new thing that the studios are releasing these films and it costs $20 to rent them. And the idea is you're supposed to be like, $20? If I went to the movies, it would be $20 plus popcorn and you're a whole family. But I'm like, I'm not spending $20 to rent a fucking movie.
Yeah, I'm not spending $20 to have fun in my bedroom during a pandemic that's entering its second year.
Honey, I got
$20,
news for you.
It's worth it.
I got news for you. I can have fun in my bedroom for free. Every single night.
I'll do more Bruce ads. I want to be able to watch something and have a fun night.
Can you not brush past my my sexual innuendo?
Okay.
I can have fun every night in my bedroom for free.
I hear you, but you know what, honey? No offense, but that gets old.
What gets old?
Well, I'm just saying, like, you can't
having sex with me?
No, you can't.
You better hope it doesn't get old.
Always have sex. Like, sometimes you want to watch a fun movie that just came out, but you're saying like, oh, we're gonna not do that.
I'm saying let's stick around and wait for a streamer to pick it up. Moshe and Natasha go to Netflix and click on that bad boy and watch it for free.
So instead we watched reruns of some dumb cooking show.
Well, look, here's the deal.
And then I fell asleep and we had a bad night when for $20 we could have had fun.
You had a bad night. I had a great time. I watched cooking shows and saved $20.
I get it that $20 is a lot. But like, why else do we work and make money if not to spend it?
To waste it on overpriced things? It's not a waste.
That's how much things are now.
Listen, if you want to rent it, we can rent it. I'm not in charge. I'm just saying I feel uncomfortable spending that much on a movie rental.
What's your limit?
$5.99. There you go. $5.99. That feels like at the top of the market.
Can I hold you to that?
Hell yeah. $5.99.
So you'll rent a movie on iTunes for $5.99?
$5.99. I won't be happy about it, but I'll do it. $20? I'm like, are you kidding? I'm not trying to see Cat Stevens live. That's how much I think that would cost.
Okay, well, I don't know. It just feels like, doesn't that money go to like do you want movies to just end?
No, honey, but
you have to
I remember this argument. You were like, "Don't you want this money to go to the studios?"
I did say that.
You did say that, and I was like, I guess I don't care.
Not the studios. I didn't mean that. I just mean like, you got to pay it forward if you like. Like if I was if I was in that movie and that's the only way it's being released, and it's like a female comedy. We want to support female artists.
This isn't a soup kitchen that we're donating money to. This is like Paramount, or I don't know who made it, actually.
Well, I want to support
I love Paramount, don't get me wrong.
Female created projects. I want to support female driven
This?
projects.
How about this? Okay.
A Promising Young Woman. There's another show, Game Face I just watched that was amazing.
How about this?
That's a series on Hulu.
On Hulu. Oh, really? Did you pay to stream it?
I didn't, but I do pay for Hulu.
Oh, you have a subscription?
Yes.
Now listen.
And it's getting more expensive, Hulu. Am I allowed to upgrade?
I have a question. How about this? Okay, in terms of supporting female-led comedies.
I Hate Susie was so good.
You don't want me to ask this question.
Okay, what is it?
How about I just tweet right now, just watched Star and Barb go to Vista Del Mar, loved it. Wow, what a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then wait until it comes on a streamer to actually watch it.
Oh, because that would actually support it?
Yeah, supporting people.
I like that.
Okay.
But what if you really hate it?
In a year?
Yeah, well, I don't know. You don't want to lie about what you like. Well, the weird thing about you, see, the $20,
This was for you.
It's not even about the $20. You don't like comedy, which I find very odd.
I don't love watching comedies. That is true. I do not.
That's weird because you're a comedian.
Well, is it weird? All day long, all I do is write comedy. All day long, I'm in my office writing scripts.
So you want a nice Holocaust documentary to wind down to at the end of the day.
Right. Yes, that's exactly right. When I'm in my leisure time.
Maybe something about child molestation or AIDS or...
all I'm saying is in my leisure time, I like...
some war.
I like drama.
You like the heaviest stuff.
Well, I like sci-fi.
Oh, that too.
Do you know sci-fi? That's short for science fiction. I like that as well.
You like rewatching Star Trek episodes?
I do. I am rewatching Deep Space Nine once again. It's such a comforting thing. Every night after you go to bed, you put your eye mask on, and I put my AirPods in, and I watch one episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine before I go to bed. It's really nice. Quark, what a funny guy. I had a thought, by the way, the other day. What do you think of this? You're a trained actor and really a talented actor. I was watching the Stand. Mm-hmm. I mentioned this on the podcast before. I was watching the miniseries, the current miniseries of The Stand, and then I was watching the one from the 1980s. I'm sorry, the 90s. It was from 94, right? I was watching them sort of back to back. And there's something about the acting I don't want to get into how I felt about the new remake of The Stand because I am actually working with the studio that made that one. So I'll just say officially, I thought it was fantastic. But what I will say is that the old one, I was looking at the acting and I was like, I think actors were better in the 80s.
What?
They were bigger, but there was something like, it felt more like
they were emoting more.
I don't know. There was something very different. It was interesting because I was watching this two different generations of people playing the same characters.
I think maybe they were just better actors in the 80s one. I think this philosophy of yours is what they would say unbaked. Or what our favorite cooking show, the good old Standby, what's his name? Gordon Ramsay would say raw.
It's raw. Look at these scallops. They're raw. We've been watching a lot of Hell's Kitchen.
Because it's free.
I do love that. Any show that's free, I'm in.
All right. Well, why don't we take some secrets?
We'll do some secrets, but let me just say this. Okay, you make fun of me for being a miser. And that's fair. I can be a bit of a penny pincher.
I'm not saying $20 is a little amount to rent a movie, but that's just where we're at. Plus pandemic.
Let's
live a little.
Let me finish this thought though. You make fun of me for being a miser. Fair enough. I take the critique. But also, you are whatever the opposite of them. Actually, you know what we are? I found out something about the word spendthrift. Do you know that the word spendthrift can mean both person who is a penny pincher and person who wastes their money? It means the opposite of itself. I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. I might be wrong, but I think it means both itself and its antonym. Isn't that interesting? Not at all? Okay, let's listen to some secrets. My point is you're very wasteful with money. We're like Jack Spratt and his wife when it comes to money.
I just like to have fun, and I
also just fun,
value my time. And if I only have an hour left at the end of the night before I pass out and I want to watch something fun, I'm gonna do it.
It's not just fun, honey. I describe your negotiation with contractors and gardeners and people like that. Your negotiation strategy is you make your counter offer before they have rejected your first offer. So you'll say, "Can I pay you $1,000?" And they won't say anything and go, "I'll pay you $5,000."
Well, those are exaggerated sums.
They are exaggerated
sums.
But
I do like to err on the side of generous whenever I'm hiring anyone to help me with anything.
But it's not generosity. What I'm saying is you get panicky and you throw money at it. Is this too effete and rarefied air?
I'm just saying I wanted to watch this movie and you didn't allow it.
Well, I loved it. By the way, we as a podcast, we want to give a hearty recommendation to the brand new comedy, Star and Barb and Star. Go to Vista Del Mar. It's the
Which
best
we
comedy.
Haven't seen yet.
Best comedy I've seen in, I would say, the whole pandemic.
But I think it's just really exciting that there's so much out there written by women, like I said, acted in by women, even produced by women. Because you know what? That's how we're going to hear different points of view. I'm sorry, but a female part written by a man is just different. Okay?
I see somebody has not watched Sorkin. Let me recommend a little show to you called The West Wing.
All right. Well, why don't we take some secrets?
Let's do it.
Hi, Natasha. Hi, Moshe. I'm a big fan of the podcast, and I'm calling with a secret that I believe, to the best of my knowledge, nobody knows in the whole world. I'm from Toronto area. I'm 33 years old now, but back when I was in high school, and I think it still applies now, you had to accumulate 40 hours of community service in order to graduate. So I actually did really well in school in terms of grades and stuff, but also like to party and have a social life and hang out with my friends, and thought I was just too cool to ever have to do my volunteer hours. So finally the time came closer to what would have been my graduation, and my counselor let me know that I wouldn't be graduating because I hadn't completed all my volunteer hours. And I just kept like burying my head in the sand, procrastinating until graduation day finally came, and I just pretended to be really sick so I wouldn't have to tell my parents the truth. And time went by and no consequences whatsoever have ever come from it. I got married and had kids quite young after high school, and then I got a job at a doctor's office through a friend about 6 years ago, and since then I have actually been promoted all the way up to being the manager of the clinic currently. So yeah, I have never graduated high school, and nobody knows, and it's fine. Thank you guys so much. Love you both.
Oh, I was confused. She didn't actually graduate from high school.
No consequences.
Fascinating. I think that the thing that this person needs to do is to do 40 hours of community service.
Why?
Just to like right her karmic weight in the world. And then it won't matter, this high school thing. I guess she's saying it doesn't matter now.
You didn't graduate from high school?
I did not. That is true. I got my California high school proficiency examination.
Fran Lebowitz didn't graduate from high school.
That is true as well.
She graduated from 7th grade.
I graduated, that's me too. That's the last grade that I successfully, but I graduated from college. That's the difference. Did Fran go to college?
That's a good question.
But anyway, I did get a degree from a college. I went to school. So what are you going to do? I guess I'm saying 40 hours of community service, not a bad thing.
That sounds really hard.
I want to do that myself now.
But can you pick which thing you do? Like,
No,
I don't want to like pick up trash.
You have to pick up trash.
I mean, I'll do it. It's good to pick up trash.
No, but you can pick up whatever.
Do I have to wear those jumpsuits? Will not fit me.
You have to wear orange, yeah. I wear orange jumpsuit.
I'll have to like roll up the sleeves.
Honey, you don't have to do the community service. This is not your secret.
Right, I hear you.
It's this lady, and I'm gonna call medical clinics until I figure out who it is, and I'm gonna fucking call you out like a smoking gun article and get you fired unless you do it. So just know I'm coming for you, lady. Let's hear another secret.
Yeah.
Hey there. So this is a secret that I never plan on telling anybody. So I figured I'll tell you, and I feel like it's one that Moshe will definitely relate to. So I've been on an endless road trip of sorts while I've been during COVID, and I was driving through the desert with my 2 large dogs, and there was absolutely no service, no gas stations for miles, and I could not find my vape, and I really needed a cigarette. There was no cigarettes to be bought, and there was no vape to be smoked because I could not find it. And so as I'm driving, all of a sudden I look over to the passenger seat, and my 65-pound dog is taking a steamy shit in the seat. So I like pull over, like from like 85 miles per hour to like 2 miles per hour, like to mid shit, like get him out of the car. And he was shitting on my vape. So basically it was like all up in the like mouthpiece too. I totally cleaned it off with like a dirty napkin, and I smoked that shit. So, or vaped that shit, I guess. So that is my secret. It's super gross. And I feel like also my immune system's pretty high. So yeah, bye.
I had a feeling it was going in that direction, and that she'd be vaping after the dog shit on the vape.
I would take a cigarette up off a floor. I would take a stranger's, like I feel like maybe a stranger's like leftover cigarette I would do, but not the dog shit.
During COVID though?
Oh, well, yeah, not during COVID.
It is funny how gross you can be when you're by yourself. You know, when there's no one around, you're kind of like, you know what? Who cares? I'll just be disgusting.
Yeah. Would you do that, Moshe?
I want to say no, but if I was fiending for nicotine and nobody was around, I would say I think I would have done it.
But the shit inhaling, like eating shit?
I don't think she ate shit.
There was definitely some shit on the mouthpiece.
She pulled over. She cleaned it all off. She probably...
How? Was she's got a faucet in her car?
Yeah, probably.
No.
Endless road trip?
No.
Oh, you think it was just like wipe, 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 puff, puff, puff?
Yeah. Puff, puff, wipe, 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 puff.
Oh, like they used to say in like the 90s. You got puff, puff, wipe. Don't hog that shit.
When I might have said this, but when I was poor I was a night operator in college.
What's that mean?
It was like the one job you could do in the middle of the night, so it fit into my college schedule.
What did you do?
I would sit outside the dorms and have to check people in.
Got it.
From like 12 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Okay.
I don't know how I did this with a college schedule, but I did. Oh, and it paid a lot.
Okay.
So I did this job, but when I would be there alone, I used to and I was always hungry. I would like sniff around and like look behind the snack machines for like dropped quarters. so I could like collect quarters and maybe buy some like combos.
What did it pay?
It definitely paid like some crazy amount at the time, like $10 an hour. Like it was like definitely worth staying up all night. But I was like literally starving in college.
Yeah, college is a very like hand to mouth time. You know, it's funny with all this talk about raising the national minimum wage. I remember my first job I got minimum wage, which was at the time I think $6.50, and I was a bear. I dressed up in a bear costume and passed out flyers. But my second job was being a sign language interpreter, and it was $13.75 an hour, and it was so much, unbelievably much money. I couldn't believe it. Mm-hmm. And now the federal minimum wage they're trying to get to is $15 an hour. And that's still, if you're making $15 an hour, I think that gets you close to a livable wage, but not all the way.
Depends on your city.
Depends on the city for sure. And then I was thinking...
That's not livable probably in LA.
For sure. And I was thinking like, inflation is so bizarre. And I heard this radio show about it recently. Did you know this? That economics experts don't fully understand inflation and why it happens. It's like a mystery to people. Like I keep thinking about the economy, how at some point in human history we started an economy and then immediately lost control of it, and now we live at its mercy. It's a thing we created as humans.
It's like a AI.
It is like AI. It's got its own consciousness on this weird level, and we can't stop it, and we die, or we live and die by this force that we created.
That can't be true that like the most brilliant minds don't know what they're talking about.
No. I'm not saying they understand nothing about inflation, but there are elements of inflation and why it happens that even high-level economists are like, we don't quite know why this happens. It's so bizarre. Like, can I go even further?
Okay.
The other thing I heard was like one of the things they think might be true about inflation, and this kind of tripped me out, was that inflation happens based on human expectation of inflation. Let me explain. So you, right now, you want to buy a house.
Everyone's already turned the podcast
You
off.
think? I think this is fascinating stuff.
Okay, go ahead.
You want to buy a house, right? Or you want to buy a car, okay? And you expect that in a year there will be inflation, so that the car will cost more in a year or 5 years. So you buy it now, right? You go, okay, I better buy a car now that I'm thinking of it, because I think it'll be more expensive soon. And by buying it now, you and 10,000 other people have that same thought. You are creating a lack of supply by buying it now. And when supply goes down, demand goes up, prices go up. So by expecting things to be more expensive in the future, you are making sure that they will be more expensive in the future by buying it now to prevent that. Isn't that interesting? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's play another secret. Fine, I bored you. I bored everybody.
I mean, I think the answer is we definitely need more billionaires. Let's give them all the money. By the way, I read an interesting article that said it actually makes you live longer to be generous. So if there's any billionaires listening,
or people that don't want to spend $19.99 on a direct-to-video movie,
you know. Give that money. Give people some more of your money.
I wonder who the richest person that listens to this podcast is. Who has the highest net worth? I just thought that. Who could it be?
If there's anybody in the bees who is listening to this podcast, give us a call. We want to know what your philosophy is. I know that billionaires, I have a little bit of like, I can wrap my mind around it a little bit, like why they're so into keeping their money, because they do think that they're helping their families. Yeah, but
after 100 million, the helping the family argument goes out the window. I mean, after 10 million, really.
Well, it seems like a lot of ego, a lot of control.
Wait, if you're listening, and not even a billionaire, if you think there's a possibility you have the highest net worth of any listener to our podcast, even if you're just a measly millionaire, write us an email You can be anonymous or call the Secrets Hotline. Tell us your net worth. I'm very curious.
And also tell us if it's a worth that you've accumulated by yourself or that your parents kind of like kicked you.
Totally. And tell us what you're doing with that money to make the world a better place. We're curious. You can leave it on the Secrets Hotline. You do not need to announce who you are.
I dated a billionaire and I would wake up in the middle of the night and he would be staring.
Counting coins?
No, he would be staring at the computer, seeing what number his dad was on the Fortune 500 because it was like really important to their family that like he like was like knocking out other billionaires from other spots. Like it was
depressing.
Like 1 through 7 is like then you're really like cooking. But if you're like number 49 on the list of, you know, billionaires, that's like
horrifying.
But that's where your mind goes when you like money is your bottom line and you're obsessed with it.
What was the secret? Would you vape dog shit? Is that how we got here?
Okay, let's take another secret.
Hey, Moshe and Natasha. I just did something like for the first time ever, and I really wanted to get it off my chest, and it is that I sort of stole something. Basically, I found something. It's not that expensive. It's like $10. It's not a big deal, but it's like $10. They had their name written on it and like their phone number. Clearly, I'm not going to call them. I'm going to take it. And I don't really feel that bad about it. 'Cause I'm broke. So that's it. Bye.
That's not how it works.
No, you don't steal from your friends.
It doesn't. I'm broke doesn't. What do you mean you're broke? What about that person? What if they're broke? And
if that person, you know, maybe you could ask them if they have multiple things, $10 things. I think as a personal rule, and maybe this will get more clear as you get older, is you don't steal, but definitely not from your friends.
Yeah, and also you just don't. I'd rather be broke than be a thief. Now, I'd rather be a thief than go hungry. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So stealing a loaf of bread from Walmart because I can't afford to eat feels different than I'm just a broke guy. You've been broke, Natasha. I've been broke. I was raised poor, so were you, raised on welfare. But you don't steal because then you're a thief. I mean, listen, I was a thief my entire childhood.
I definitely shoplifted when I was little.
A big-time shoplifter, and but I'm saying, like, once you become conscious, the idea is I'd rather be broke than be a thief. I'd rather be a thief than be hungry. I think I just dropped some major wisdom.
Yes, I agree.
That I dropped some major wisdom?
No. That I agree with what you're saying.
All right. But it's really wise?
Yes, honey, you're wise.
Thank you. Does it make you love me? Yes. That I'm wise?
Yes.
Oh, well, I love you too.
I love you too.
No, I said I love you too, so you can't say it.
Okay.
Just say I love you. Just you say I love you to me.
I love you.
Oh, I love you too. Will you say, actually, I love your wisdom?
Can you keep this in? I love your wisdom.
Thank you. I love you too. Or wait, can you say, I love how wise you are?
Stop telling me how to love you.
Well, no, I'm not telling you how to love. I'm telling you my love language. And my love language is
flattery.
Praising my wisdom. Can you do it? Can you just say, I praise your wisdom?
I praise your wisdom.
I love you too.
Praise be.